Justin, what's the reaction to the fixture?
Yeah, really pleased overall. Commercially and performance-wise, we think we've got a really good balance across the season. We were pretty keen to make sure the NRL fixtured our games in Melbourne, home games when there was no AFL in town. Both in round one and also for gather round, we were able to achieve that, so that was fantastic. And the spread of our buys is really important across the Origin period, so we're really pleased with that. We also wanted to have more Saturday games this year to make sure we had a better balance across the season, and we're able to achieve that with 3 Saturdays, 3 Sundays, 3 Friday nights and 2 Thursday nights here in Melbourne. So we think we've got a good spread and a good balance both for the fans who want to attend our games, but then also for exposure across broadcast, on those big Thursday and Friday night games.
Must be pleased to host the grand final rematch in round 3, nice and early.
Yeah, nice and early in the season. Friday night game here at Amy Park. Always a big match against the Broncos, so to be the grand final rematch, obviously off the back of what was clearly a disappointing end to the game for us, but still an incredible spectacle, an incredible grand final. So yeah, we're really looking forward to that Friday night game, and hopefully a big Melbourne still crowd and hostile environment for Broncos.
How's the club dealt with that?
I think we're probably still dealing with it, to be honest. Clearly losing the grand final is tough. Losing 2 in a row is even tougher. We're still really proud of our season and what we've done and what we've achieved. And we know that every year you've got to keep improving. And in the end, on that Sunday night, we just weren't quite good enough. So, we've let everyone obviously take some time away, deal with it in their own way, and then ultimately, once we start back in pre-season, we begin the process of climbing the mountain again. And the best part is we've been doing it for a number of years now. We continue to come back, and each season we're there or thereabouts, and to be giving ourselves the opportunity to win a premiership and to be making it to a grand final is something that we want to continue to do. And hopefully this year we'll go one better.
Justin, it's been a pretty busy off-season for the club. Just start off with Eli for us. Have you got an update on that?
Yeah, no, he's stabilised. It's been obviously a really challenging few weeks, both for him, the club, his family. He's in a stable condition. He's been improving, which is really pleasing. He's still got a long way to go in terms of his short-term, medium-term recovery. The next step for us is getting him back to Australia. So we're hopeful that over the weekend or early next week we can get him back to Melbourne, where he'll return to hospital. He'll be able to see some specialists here in Melbourne, and then from there we'll be able to determine next steps in his recovery. But look, the pleasing part, priority for us has been his welfare, his health, support for his family, in what's been a really heartbreaking incident and scenario and situation that for a young man to go through that, the peak of his powers, he's a quality person, both in his community but also here at our club. It's been really tough to deal with, and we're grateful for all the support that we've had. We're grateful for the support of the New Zealand health system, and all the doctors and surgeons that have been there for him. And we're looking forward to getting back to Melbourne and continuing that support.
We saw an explanation from the Tom side. We all saw that vision pre-match about half an hour before kick-off. They claimed they didn't see that vision, but it was on social media. What sort of explanation they provided to us?
No, we haven't specifically said that from the Tommy team. We've been working with the NRL. The NRL are conducting an investigation into the circumstances that took place. Clearly a really serious incident and something that needs and requires an investigation, and we're really comfortable with the process that the NRL's taken, and once that's concluded we'll then be able to understand the facts. We'll have all the information around what took place and when it happened and how it happened, and then from there obviously the NRL will decide what takes place after that. So for us, clearly we're concerned, clearly it's serious, but at the same time our focus has been about Ellie and his health and his recovery, and the NRL has been conducting that investigation, and once that's concluded then I think we can all sit back and assess what happened Look, I don't know, to be honest, Mel. It's very early. We haven't really even looked at that at this point. We're just focused on his recovery, his health, and the short term at the moment. To even speculate or consider that at this point in time, it's just far too early.
Will the club reconsider allowing players to play with the side?
Look, no, that's not something that the club would reconsider. The players that play for their countries, particularly in the Pacific, are immensely proud of their culture, their heritage, their history, their family, and where they're from. Overall, we think that Pacific Champs is a wonderful concept of celebrating rugby league and culture. So that's not something that we're considering. Whether there's changes to the way the NRL governs champs, the processes, the structures, all those sorts of things off the back of what's happened over there, time will tell. But again, that's going to come out once we get information from the NRL around the investigation that they're currently doing.
Just to confirm, is he still in hospital full time? Or is he back in hospital full time? Or will this one do that sort of thing?
Yeah, so at this point in time, the plan would be that he returns to Melbourne and returns to hospital for a period of time for further assessment, to see some specialists here, to be under the care of our doctor here. And then I think at that point, they'll make a decision on when he's discharged from there and what his recovery looks like from there, whether that's heading home, whether that's heading into some form of rehabilitation centre, something like that. It's probably a little bit too early to tell on that. We're in the process of working through when he gets out of hospital in New Zealand. Hopefully it's in the next 24 to 48 hours. And then the view would be to get him back to Melbourne early next week.
Is there a view we might not see him during the 2026 season? Or is it just too early?
Again, too early to tell, Matt. I think at the end of the day, again, we'd love to see him in 2026. Clearly, he's probably been one of our best 2 or 3 players in the last 2 years. But at this point, it's really not even something that's on our radar. We're really focused on Ellie and his health and getting him back to Melbourne and getting him recovered. In the end, that's a long way away from our thinking. Priority clearly. So.